Okay, good evening, students. Today, okay, good evening, students. Today, we are going to discuss about the mycology or introduction to the mycology, whatever it may be. Now, today we will discuss about the some of the points related to the mycology. That means we will discuss about the fungal structure, exactly what is the fungi, what is the thalli, each and everything it will be discussed in today's topic. That means totally today today we will completely discuss about the all these things in today's topic. So move to the let us move to the first slide related to the fungi. Exactly, what is the definition of the fungi? I think my voice is audible to you or not. First of all, I should sign that one. Suppose if my voice is audible to you means I will continue the class. Okay, right. Thank you. So, first of all, what is the meaning of the fungi? Exactly, the fungi, it comes under either eukaryote or prokaryote. First of all, many people, they will get the doubt regarding this one. So, first of all, we should think that one fungi, it will also come under eukaryotic organism. So, a eukaryotic organism that is usually filamentous. That means it forms the mycelium and it is the heterotrophic, which has the cell walls composed of the chitin and reproduces by the sexual or asexual spores. That is the complete definition related to the fungi. That means here, generally, the sexual reproduction occurs or either asexual reproduction occurs. But here, the reproduction occurs by the spore formation. By the spore formation. So here, in fungi, there are two types of the spore stages are present: sexual and also asexual reproduction. Mostly it occur by the spores. So that's why the organism it reproduces by the spores, either sexual or asexual. Sometimes both the spores are formed. Okay, you should remember that thing. And also the cell wall it is composed of the chitin. You should remember that one. Generally, the plant cells they will not be composed of the chitin, but here mostly the cell wall it is composed of the chitin. It is also one of the differentiating characteristics from the remaining eukaryotic organisms. Mostly they are the filamentous in form. That means how it appears. Generally the fungi it appears in filamentous form. You should remember that one. And also it is heterotrophic. That means it will not uh, it will not get their own nutrition or their own food materials. Completely, they will depend on the some other organisms or some other organic matter or whatever it may be. So finally, it is heterotrophic. So you should remember all these words related to the fungi. One thing, it is eukaryotic organism. How it appears? It is the filamentous-like structure. Also, what is their nutrition nature? Either it is the autotrophic or heterotrophic. So they are the heterotrophic. That depends upon some other things. How the cell walls are made. Here the cell walls are made up of with the chitin, and also how it reproduces. It reproduces by the spore production. So here we should remember all this terminology related to the fungi. One, it is the eukaryotic organism, and also it is filamentous form, and also it contains the chitin, and also heterotrophic, and also sexual or sexual spores. All of these are related to the definition of the fungi. You should remember that one. Next one is the what are the general terminology used in mycology? Thallus, hyphae, and also mycelium. All of these are the words more or less similar to the each other. But here you have to remember exactly what is the thallus, what is the hyphae, what is the mycelium. We should remember all these things. Thallus, it is a singular word, and also thalli, it is the plural word. So the entire body of the fungi, it is called thallus. You should remember that one. The entire body of the fungi, it is called thalli. It also constitutes the hyphae or mycelium with reproductive structures. You should remember this thing. Thallus means maybe whether it is vegetative structure or it is reproductive structure. Both the whenever it is present in these stages, simply we will call it as a thallus or
Sir,
thalli.
your
So you
PPT is
should
not
remember
visible.
that one. The entire body of the fungi is called thallus. It contains both the vegetative structure and also reproductive structures. During that period, we will call it as a thallus. The another term related to that one is the hypha. Plural word is the hyphae. What is the hyphae or hypha? It is a
Sir, your
tubular,
PPT is not visible.
transparent, usually thin filament with the growing tape, and also the cytoplasm. It is surrounded by the rigid outer wall. That means, finally, here we are explaining about the structure of that particular fungi. Finally, the fungi, it is one tubular transparent structure. It is nothing but it is a tubular transparent filamentous like structure which contains the rigid outer wall. Already we have told that one. Yeah, now it is PPT is visible to you. If the PPT is visible to you means I will continue the class. Okay, right. Thank you. Okay, here thallus, hyphae, and also mycelium. Already I have told that thallus. Now I am discussing about the hyphae structure. Hyphae structure, it is nothing but it is a tubular, transparent, thin filament structure which is surrounded by the outer cell wall. At that time, we will call it as a hypha. Plural word is the hyphae. Next one is the mycelium. Another third terminology related to the structure of the fungi is the mycelium. Plural word is the mycelia. Whenever we are using more than one mycelium at the time, we will call it as a mycelia. Why we have mentioned thallus and also thalli? Because of generally we will think about that one. If it is the plural word means we will add it as a yes, but here we will not add the any S-like structures. Hypha, hyphae, mycelium, mycelia. if anyone written in mycelia means that is nothing but it is a floral word. So what is the mycelia? Mycelia is nothing but it is the mass of hyphae. Collectively, we will call it as a mycelium. That means each fungi it contains more than a single hyphae structure. That means there are the huge number of the hyphal structures are present for the one fungi. At the time, we will call it as a mycelium, or we will call it as a mycelia of the particular fungi. We should remember that one. Thallus, hyphae, mycelium. Thallus, if anyone uses thallus, means it is nothing but he is discussing about the particular structure of that particular fungi. Either it is vegetative structure or reproductive structure. Hyphae means he is completely discussing about the particular single filamentous structure. That means whenever we are going to discuss about the set cation, what is the nuclei is present, what is the cell wall of that particular hyphae means at the time we will use the hyphae word. The third one is the mycelium. That means the total structure of that particular fungi, it is called the mycelium. That means here each mycelium, it contains huge number of the hyphal structure. Hyphal structure. That means, for example, if you see the petri plate which contains the fungi means at that time we will say that one the mycelium structure of that particular fungi in petri plate it appears as grayish color or white in color. That means here now we are discussing about the total structure of the fungi which is present in that particular petri plate, the mycelial structure. So you should remember all this terminology related to the fungi. So look at this one. The first structure, it represents the thallus. Already we told that one thallus means it contains the reproductive structure and also vegetative structure. So it is nothing but it is the rhizopus structure. Already the rhizopus structure, it contains the vegetative structure and also reproductive structure. So in this condition, we will call it as a thallus of the particular fungi. The another one is the hyphae. That means the spore it germinated and also after germination of the particular spore, it produced the hyphae. So that is the structure, the tubular structure, the filamentous structure is called hyphae. The third one is the mycelium. Mycelium means already we have told that one huge number of the hyphae which is present. The collectively we will call the all the hyphae. It is called mycelium. You should remember all this terminology. Don't get the any confusion among these three words. Next, we will discuss the nutrition, cell wall, life cycle, sexuality, habitat, and also distribution of the fungi. So, nutrition. Nutrition. What type of the nutrition it contains? Already we have discussed about the definition of the fungi. It is a heterotrophic. So, what is the heterotrophic means? Heterotrophic means they themselves they will not prepare their own food. Always they depends upon the outside of the their structures. That means outside materials, outside food materials. So whenever the fungi it is present one particular area means definitely it has to absorb the nutrients or food materials from their body, from the outside of their body. That means it completely it depends on the external supply of the food materials which is present in their surrounding areas. We should remember that one. Why we are using the nutrient media, how it grows on that particular media of the fungi. That means, suppose if the petri plate is there means petri dish it contains the PDA media. That is nothing but potato dextrose agar media. That means the PDA media it contains the food materials or nutrients which are required for the growth of the fungi. That means PDA, it is the external material, external food material. Whenever the external food material is present, At the time, if you inoculate any fungi on that particular media, definitely the media, it will be helpful for the fungal growth. That means the fungi, it absorbs the nutrients which are present in that particular media. That is the one small example for the heterotrophic nature of the fungi. Okay, do you understand that one? Next one, it is the adsorptive type mode of nutrition, except the slime modes. In fungi, except the slime modes, all the nutrition mode is the adsorptive type. That means the extracellular so here the fungi or the hyphae, it is present. Outside of that hyphae, it contains the insoluble food material. Insoluble food material. Whenever the insoluble food material is Sorry for the interruption. I think now it is visible to you. The stream, the PPT. Now we are discussing about the nutrition. Please don't make any drawings on the PPT. Okay. Now we are discussing about the nutrition. Already we have told that one. Next one is the cell wall of the fungi. So here there are the lot of divisions are present. That means Mycota, Mycota. So in all these divisions of the fungi, it is made up of with the chitin, except in oomycetes and also hypochytriomycetes. So in these two uh, in these two oomastids and also hypochytriomycetes, the cell wall it is made up of with the cellulose. You should remember that one. In most of the fungi, the cell wall it will be made up of with the chitin, except in some phylum and also oomycetes and also hypochytriomycetes. In these two cases, we can see the cell wall it is made up of with the cellulose. Whatever the fungi it is present in oomycetes class or hypochytriomycetes class, we can see the cell wall it is made up of with the cellulose. You should remember that one. It is very very important in your examination point of view. Next one is the life cycles. So the fungi it exhibit the haploid and also diploid phases in their life cycle. That means they are alternate with each other. But here it contains the different types of the life cycles: asexual cycle, haploid cycle, and also haploid cycle with restricted dikaryotic phase, and also the dikaryotic cycle. That means here it contains the haploid cycle means the fungi which contain only single nuclei present in their cells. You should remember that one. Dikaryotic phase means the fungal cell which contains the two nuclei which are very close to the each other. That means the fungal individual cell it contains the two different nuclei which are present in the same cell. That is dikaryotic phase. Diploid phase means the fungal cell which contains the one set of the chromosomes. That means one set of the nuclei. That means the two nuclei they combine with each other, and also it is present in the diploid phase. That means that is the thing. Next one is the sexuality. So sexuality here already we told the one thing. The pathogen or the fungi it reproduces both the phases. One it is the sexual phase and also asexual phases. Two phases are present. Sometimes we can see only the asexual stage. That means asexual reproduction. So in addition to these two things, sexual phase and also asexual reproduction, in addition to these two things, we can also see the parasexual cycle. That means the parasexual cycle, it was first time noticed or identified or discovered by the Poincaré and Roper in the year 1952 in Penicillium and also Aspergillus. In these two organisms, they have discovered the parasexual cycle. What is the parasexual cycle? We will discuss about all these things in next coming classes. So here we should remember one thing. In addition to the asexual reproduction and also sexual reproduction, the fungi it will also produce by the parasexualism. So by the parasexual sexuality or the parasexual cycle, in addition to that one, parasexual cycle is present. It was discovered by the Poincaré and Roper in the year 1952. You should remember the year and also the scientists who discovered the parasexuality in fungi and also in which organism. You should remember these things. It is very, very important, your examination point of view. So, habitat. What is the habitat of the fungi? Here, the fungi habitat is the saprophytic ability it contains, and also sometimes some of the fungi they will survive as the symbionts. Some of the fungi they survive as the parasites. Some other fungi they will act as a hypoparasites. Some of them act as a biological controls also. So here they have the different activities. That means the fungi means not all the organisms are pathogens. They are not all the they are not all the beneficial organisms. So here you should remember two things. One, it is either it is the beneficial organism or harmful organism, and also the habitat of these two things. Saprophytic ability is present for the some of the fungi. Some of the fungi they may also contains the parasitic nature. Distribution. That means the fungi it is distributed all over the world. That means some of the fungi they are present in water, so that they are called aquatic fungi. Some of the fungi they are present in terrestrial nature, that is the land. Some of the fungi they are present in the atmosphere, that means in air. That means air, that means the air it will not produce that one, but some of the fungi, whenever they produce the spores they will travel from one place to the other places by the air. That means the atmosphere it will also contain the some of the fungal spores. That is the meaning of that one fungi which is present in the atmosphere. Now we will discuss about the different types of the fungi thalli. So the fungi it contains plasmodium type of the thalli, unicellular thalli, and also filamentous thalli. These three types of the thalli is present in fungi. That means all the fungi they will not contain the all these three types of the thalli. The fungi it contains either plasmodium or unicellular or filamentous form. It is present in any one of the form. So, what is the plasmodium type of the thalli? That means plasmodium. Plasma means it is the molded body. That means it contains either one ball-like structure. That means ball-like structure. That means here exact meaning of the plasmodium type of thalli means it is a naked giant multinucleate amoeboid mass of cytoplasm, and also it lacks the cell wall and a definite form, and it feeding in amoeboid fashion. You should remember that thing. That means the body, the structure, it contains amoeba-like structure. That means amoeba it doesn't contain any definite shape. Like that manner, here the plasmodium type of the structure which contains the fungi, it will also behave like as a amoeba-like structure. And also the feeding nature is also just like as amoeba. So that's why it is called amoeboid fashion like feeding nature. And one more thing, it doesn't contain the cell wall. You should remember that one. That means it contains only the cytoplasm with the multinucleate. That means the that particular plasmodium body it contains the multinuclei. That means more than one nuclei it is present in that particular plasmodium type of the structure. It is a naked one. That means naked one means it doesn't contain the cell wall. So here we should remember the plasmodium type of the thallus containing pathogen means Plasmodia brassica. You should remember that one. Here, the name is also come to more or less similar to that one plasmodium. So that's why Plasmodium brassica, it contains the plasmodium type of the thalli structure. It is also important for your examination point of view. Next one is the unicellular thalli. That means the total fungi, it is present in single cell form. In single cell form. Example for that one is the chytrids and also Syncytrium, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. All of these three organisms, they contain only single cell. If you look at that second diagram, it is nothing but it is the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. It is a yeast of commerce or bakers and travers yeast. All of they contain the individual cells. In single cell, thalli. It is nothing but unicellular thalli. That means the thalli, it contains only single cell structure. Example for that one is the Saccharomyces, Syncytium, Chytridium. All the chytrids comes under unicellular thalli. So, in your examination point of view, you should remember yeast of commerce. It is present in which form? Plasmodium type of the structure, and also unicellular like structure or filamentous like structure. So you should remember that one. Sometimes they will also give the option as a Syncytium. Syncytium contains which type of the thalli? Next, another important third one is the filamentous thalli. It is the regular and also most common type of the structure. Most of the fungi, it contains the filamentous-like structure, which contains the number of the branches, thread-like filaments. They are called hyphae. Already we have told that one. Filamentous thalli means nothing but it contains the tubular filamentous-like structures. So you can give the any example for the filamentous fungi, either Alternaria, Cercospora, Fusarium, all of they contain the filamentous type of the structure. These are the examples for the different types of the fungi, fungal thalli. Next one, based on the reproductive structures. Based on the reproductive structures, there are two different types. One it is the eucarpic, another one is the holocarpic. Eucarpic means the thallus which is used only some part in the formation of the reproductive structure is called eucarpic. That means here the fungi it contains here the fungi it is present in thallus form, that means vegetative structure. Only the fungi which contains the thallus, only some part of the thallus it converts into the reproductive structure. The remaining part it will present as a vegetative part. That means here the total part of the thalli it will not be converted into the reproductive structure. Only some part of the thalli of the fungi it is converting into the reproductive structure. That's why it is called eucarpic fungi. Example for that one is the Monobleparis and also Allomyces. If you look at the diagram, Allomyces arbuscula, which contains the gametangia. That means it contains the male gametangia and also female gametangia. These two structures are the reproductive structures of the Allomyces. That means the remaining below and the below part it is nothing but vegetative structure of the Allomyces. That means the lower part it contains only vegetative structures. The top portion part of the thalli it simply converts into the reproductive structure. You should remember that one. That type of fungi is called eucarpic fungi. If anyone mention the fungi it is a eucarpic fungi means always you should remember that one. Only the some part of the thalli is simply converting into the reproductive structure. Best example for the eucarpic fungi is the Allomyces arbuscula. Example for that one is the Monobleparis and also Allomyces. Next one is the holocarpic fungi. Holocarpic fungi. So what is the meaning of the holocarpic fungi? Holo means that means the total structure of the fungi. It's simply converted into the reproductive structure is called holocarpic fungi. That means the thallus of the fungi, whatever it is present at a particular point of time, whenever it needs to become as a reproductive structure, at the time the total thallus it simply converts into the reproductive structure. That means whenever it converts into the reproductive structure, we can't see the any thallus, any vegetative stage. That means whatever the thallus it is present in the vegetative stage, now after some time the vegetative thalli it totally converts into the reproductive structure. That means it is a holocarpic fungi. Example for that one is the Alphidium brassicae. That means Alphidium brassicae, which causes the damping of the crucifer. Next one is the Syncytium endobioticum. The Syncytium endobioticum, it will also comes under holocarpic fungi. You should remember these two terminology also the structures of the fungi. That means totally based on the reproductive structure, we will differentiate them into the eucarpic fungi or holocarpic fungi. For any fungi, we can say that one what type of fungi it is. For example, alternaria. In alternaria also, only some part, whenever it comes to the reproductive stage, only some part it converts into the reproductive structure. The remaining mycelial structure, it will be present. That means it is a eucarpic fungi. Because of here, whatever the thallus, whatever the vegetative structure or mycelium is present, the total mycelium, it will not be converted into the complete reproductive structure. Only some part of the thallus it is converting. It will start to produce the reproductive structures. That comes under eucarpic fungi. So best example for the eucarpic fungi is the Monoblipparis allomyces. For holocarpic, Alphidium brassica, Syncytium endobioticum. These two organisms, they completely converts their body into the reproductive structure. You should remember these examples also. Next one, this based on their physical presence, either ectophytic fungi or endophytic fungi. Ectophytic fungi means the fungi which is present on the surface of the host plants. That means here, whenever the pathogen, whenever the inocula, it is landed on the surface of the plants, they will not enter into the inside of the host plants. They are present only or they will start their growth only on the surface of the host plants. Best example for the ectophytic fungi is oidium. Oidium, it causes the powdery mildew in different crop plants. That means most of the powdery mildew causing fungi are ectophytic. That means they are present only on the surface of the host surfaces. If you look at the powdery mildew fungi or powdery mildew disease, we can see the powdery growth. Whitish powdery growth is present on the most of the aerial pods. The whitish powdery growth means it is nothing but the total mycelial growth of the fungi, powdery mildew fungi. That means all the fungal structures, the mycelial structures, the reproductive structures, they are present only on the surface of the host plants. Best example for that one is the oidium, the Podosphaera, Spirotheca, Erysife, Mycosphaera, Uncinilla, all of these are the perfect stages of the oidium. You should remember that one. Next, another important type is the endophytic fungi. That means the fungi simply it enters into the inside of the host plants. In the endophytic fungi also, there are different types out there. One, it is the intercellular fungi. The second one is the intracellular fungi. Some of they are the vascular fungi. So intercellular fungi means after once the spore or once the fungi it enters into the inside of the host plant surfaces, inside of the host plant surfaces means definitely it has to move to the forward. That means it has to exhibit the growth. Whenever the growth it is present means definitely the growth of the hyphae is also increased. How it increases? Their growth. Definitely it has to penetrate into the inside of the host plants, either by the intercellular or intracellular. Intercellular means it starts their growth between the plant cells gaps. Whenever the gaps are present between the two cells, in that gap, the hyphae, it will move towards the different regions of the host plants. Best example for that one is the Phytophthora pathogen, Phytophthora fungi. So you should remember that one. One of the best example for the intercellular fungi means Phytophthora. Intracellular fungi. Intracellular fungi means it will penetrate into the inside of the host cells. Example for that one is the Ichthyophthora, which causes the smut disease. Next, another important one is the vascular fungi. That means Once it starts entering from the host surfaces means definitely it reaches up to the vascular bundles, xylem and also phloem. The pathogen, it move up to the vascular bundles. In vascular bundles, the total fungi, it occupies the vascular bundles, and also it will give the some obstacles to the movement of the water and also nutrients to that particular plant. Finally, it leads to the development of the wilting symptoms. If any plant it is exhibiting the wilting symptoms due to the pathogen means definitely the pathogen it has to present in the vascular bundles. Whenever they are present in the vascular bundles, it gives the some obstacles. So whenever it gives the some obstacle, that means it will stop the movement of the nutrients and also water. During that period, the plant it exhibits the wilting symptoms, and finally it leads to the death of the plant. That means the fungi it is present in the vascular bundles. Best example for that one is the Fusarium oxysporum. There are the different types of the Fusarium species are present. Among this one, you should remember only Fusarium. It is the vascular fungi. Next one is the based on the formation, how many types of the fungi are present. So based on the formation, it contains the primary septa and also adventitious septa. The primary septa means which are formed in the direct association with the nuclear division, and also they lie down between daughter nuclei, which separates the nuclei or cells. So here the primary septa it is formed during the simultaneously whenever the nuclear division it occurs. During the nuclear division, the septa it will also starts to penetrate into the inside of the cell, and finally it leads to the development of the two cells. Along with the two cells, two nuclei also formed. Okay. So here, adventitious septa means these are formed independent of the nuclear division. That means there is no relationship with the nuclear division. Simply, they are produced to delimit, to separate the reproductive structures from the vegetative structures. Whenever the vegetative structure is formed, at the time it will simply differentiate the vegetative structure and also reproductive structure. For example, if the total mycelium, whenever the nutrients are present, at the time completely the fungi it will produces more number of the hyphal structures. Whenever the more number of the hyphal structures are formed, at particular point of time, the nutrition depletion will also be started. Whenever the nutrition depletion is started, at the time, the pathogen or the fungi, it will start to produce the reproductive structures. At the time, it will form the one septae. At that septae, it differentiates the reproductive structures. You should remember that one. Next one is the Doliphos septa. Mostly, the Doliphos septa formation occurs in Basidiomycotina or Basidiomycota phylum. We should remember that one. Doliphos septal formation occur in which phylum? Ascomycota or Basidiomycota or Deuteromycota or Zygomycota. The type of question generally they will ask about that one. In Basidiomycota phylum, the tip of the septa near to the central pore it will swollen and also to form a barrel-shaped structure, which is called Doliphos septum. Generally, the septum means it is just nothing but it is a one type of the cross cell wall formation between the two cells. But here, whenever the Doliphos septa it is present, the central portion of the septa it will be swollen. Whenever it will be swollen, it will form just like as a Doliphos type structure. That's why it is called the Doliphos septum. Sometimes the Doliphos septum it will be covered with a one small thin membrane. It is called parenthosome or septal pore cap. So if you look at that Doliphos septum, right side and also left side, we can see the formation of the small membranous structure that is called parenthosome or septal pore cap. Because of the septal pore, it is covered with a small membrane. That's why it is also called as a septal pore cap. Parenthosome, it is present in the cytoplasm on either side of the septa. Next one is the perforated septa. That means perforated septa means the septa which contains the small holes. That means whenever the holes are present, automatically the nutrients and also some molecules, they will move from the one cell to the other cell. You should remember that one. Complete septa and also perforated septa. So now here we have given the complete septa and also incomplete septa. Complete septa means completely it will be closed. That means from the top to bottom, the total cell, it is covered with the cross wall. It is called the complete septa. That means here it doesn't contain any pores. So that's why whenever the pores are absent, there is no possibility of the movement of the nutrients from the one cell to the other cells. You should remember that one. Mostly they are formed between the somatic and also sexual structures. That means for differentiation of the conidiophore and also hyphae, at the time one small cross wall will be formed. The cross wall, it is a complete septa because of there is no pores are present in that septa. And also the complete septa, it can also be found near to the damaging or dying cells. That means whenever the hyphae it starts moving or it starts growing towards the one region wherever the nutrients are present. At the time, sometimes whenever the nutrients are absent, at the time the hyphae which is present on that particular point, they will start dying. During that period, the hyphae, the cross walls, they will also be formed and also they will be detached. The dying cells which are present at that particular point, at the time one new septa will also be formed. That new septa, it completely differentiate the dying cells and also living cells. At the time also the hyphae, the septa will be formed. So based on the construction, here also simple septa and also complex septa are present. Simple septa means either it contains the pores or without pores also. Complex septa means whenever the doliphore septum is present at the time, that is also called as a complex septa. So here you should remember the fungal tissue. Fungal tissue, it is called the flectenchyma. Here there are the two types of the tissue are present. One it is the prosenchyma and also the second one is the pseudoparenchyma. These two types of the fungal tissues are present. The loose one in prosenchyma, the fungal hyphae, it is parallel and also they are loosely woven with each other. That means here we can't see the any compactness of the hyphae structure of the fungi. So that is called the prosenchyma. Best example for that one is the trauma which is present in the agaricus. Is the one of the best example for the prosenchyma fungal tissue. Another one is the pseudoparenchyma tissue. So in pseudoparenchyma, that means simply it resembles the plant parenchymal structures. That's why it is called the pseudoparenchyma. Mostly they are present in the sclerotial bodies of the fungi. If you split open that, if you cut the tissue of that sclerotium, you can see the small ball-like structures. That means here the total fungi, it is very compact in nature. and also it appears or it resembles like parenchyma of the plant cells. That's why it is called the pseudoparenchyma structure. So mostly the sclerotial bodies of the sclerotium and also rhizomorph of the organelle area. So this contains the pseudoparenchyma type of the tissue structure. Do you have any doubts regarding this one?
Yes, sir.
Gaurav Singh?
Yes, sir. Sir, what is proliferation? Sir, you were explaining in complete chapter. There is a term called proliferation.
If you have doubts, means please ask me.
Hello, am I audible, sir? Hello, hello, am I audible, sir? Hello.
Okay, Gaurav Singh, tell me your.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
So proliferation means it is nothing but the septa which contains the pores. At that time, we will call it as a proliferation. It contains the pores. Whenever the pores are present, at that time, we will call it as a proliferation. That means the septa, it contains the small holes. Whenever the small holes are present, the nutrients, they will travel from the one place to the other area.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir.
First of all, you have to purchase the HC2 book, very small book.
Sir.
That is the fungi, bacteria, and also viruses. First of all, coming to the class, you uh, should live through that one. Once if you live through that one, it will be easy to understand the class and also it will be very easy to remember all these things. Actually, I have started diseases of the plants, but fungi, bacteria, and viruses. Very small book it is there related to the basics of the mycology. First of all, we should go through that one. At the time, it is very easy to understand, and also yeah, Hetzi Dubey book, and also one more book it is there. That is the introductory mycology. I will send that cover page of that textbook, and also you should purchase that one. That means in that book also we have given the all the details related to that one. That means the total basics related to the mycology. That is written by the Ishwaradi sir and also myself. Also, we have given the information from the mycology textbook also. Alexopoulos, Alexopoulos and also H.C. Dubey. All the textbooks are referred, and also finally we have concluded one small textbook. It is not a textbook, that is nothing but it is a simply one small reference book related to the mycology. That will be helpful to you, I think. These two books are sufficient for the mycology, but in JAR of examination, mostly nearly at least 10 bits are covered from the, especially from the mycology.
Sir. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.